The story begins with a high school soccer tournament in Nahime, Japan. A player named Ashito performs exceptionally well, and the opposing team considers him a threat. When Ashito scores a hat trick, he and his teammates believe they have a chance to win the match and advance to the semifinals. However, when the opposing goalkeeper senses their impending loss, he tries to unsettle Ashito. It turns out the goalkeeper was in the same elementary school class as Ashito and played on the same soccer team. He mocks Ashito, saying his teammates are just a bunch of fools trying to keep up with him. Suddenly, Ashito headbutts him, resulting in his expulsion and his team's loss. Meanwhile, a mysterious man in the stands observes Ashito. Later, Ashito's mother scolds him for losing his temper. His coach also informs him that he has lost the opportunity to play in the junior league. The mysterious man from the stadium stands by the sea, watching Ashito run for the past 2 hours. As the man asks him to stop and talks to him, Ashito faints from exhaustion. When Ashito wakes up, he sees the man attempting a unique soccer move. Mesmerized, Ashito asks him to teach it, but despite several attempts, he fails to execute it. The man concludes it was an illusion and that Ashito isn't a skilled player. He begins discussing tactics with Ashito, who initially ignores him but eventually explains that with his teammates' help, he was able to score. Ashito admits he's hot-headed and can only play freely in his own way. Due to his behavior, he was always rejected until he met his high school friends who accepted him as he is. He then describes his gameplay by drawing a diagram in the sand. The man is shocked that Ashito can recall the positions of all 22 players on the field. In the next scene, the goalkeeper who provoked Ashito visits his home and apologizes to his mother, admitting that Ashito headbutted him because he mocked his poverty and insulted his mother. By the sea, the man sits on a nearby bench to cool off, but falls asleep. Upon waking, he finds Ashito still practicing the move, having mastered it but exhausted after training all night. The man reveals himself as Fukuda Tatsuya, the manager of a prominent youth soccer club in Tokyo, Esperion FC. He explains that every junior league team has a youth team of high school players and invites Ashito to try out for his team in Tokyo. When Ashito discusses the tryouts with his mother, she refuses to let him go due to their financial struggles. Though upset, Ashito continues his normal life and plays with his friends. The next day, his older brother, Shin, tells him that Tatsuya is a renowned international player who retired due to injury. Surprisingly, Shin gives Ashito his savings and urges him to try out to pursue his dream, assuring him he'll convince their mother. Ashito arrives at Tokyo City Esperion FC, awestruck by the massive facility. He meets Hana, Tatsuya's sister, who informs him that many talented high school players are at the tryouts. Seeing Ashito's excitement over a grass field, she doubts her brother's decision to invite him. Tatsuya and the coaches gather the 86 players and outline the rules, noting that it's possible none will be selected. Ashito, outraged, argues it's unfair, but Tatsuya explains that youth teams aren't soccer schools. They only select match-ready, qualified players. The 20-minute selection matches begin. Ashito's team faces a strong opponent, and his habit of keeping the ball to score alone frustrates his teammates. Isaku, a teammate, yells at him for playing solo, emphasizing teamwork. Spectators discuss Tachibana, Ashito's talented opponent. Hana, watching, asks Tatsuya if the skill gap between teams is normal. Tatsuya replies they're judging intelligence, not physicality or skills. Coaches question why Tatsuya invited Ashito, who seems useless, but he's actually observing the field and player positions to devise tactics. Realizing he's now with skilled players, Ashito shifts to tactical play. Tatsuya grows excited as Ashito recovers the ball, but holds onto it with only 5 minutes left. Everyone wonders why he doesn't pass. Hana notices Tatsuya smiling, sensing something surprising. As two opponents approach, Ashito dribbles toward his own goal while his teammate Kaneda runs toward the opponents. Ashito sends a long pass to Kaneda, who heads it in, scoring. The match ends, and Ashito, thrilled, exchanges a wave and smile with Kaneda. Tatsuya and the coaches are stunned, one noting Ashito's field vision. Tatsuya announces that 11 players, including Ashito, Isaku, Tachibana, and Kineda, will advance to the final evaluation. At the cafeteria, Ashito learns Hana is Tatsuya's sister. He calls Shin to share the good news. Later, he tries talking to other selected players, but most are uninterested. However, Tachibana, Kineda, Isaku, and 2 others join him, sharing their desire to be selected, while others despair, fearing their lives are over if they fail. Ashito encourages them, saying they're talented and he's happy to play with them. Tatsuya introduces their final opponent, the Esperian youth team, a highly skilled group. The boys are intimidated, but Ashito, enthusiastic, motivates them, noting the youth players are only a year older. Tachibana agrees, boosting morale. Akutsu, an Esperian youth player, overhears Ashito's confidence and confronts him about his worn-out cleats. Ashito says they're comfortable, and they introduce themselves, shaking hands. Ashito sees Akutsu as an elite player. The match begins, and Ashito's team nearly scores multiple times. He and Tachibana realize Esperian is going easy. The youth team then executes a stunning one-touch passing display. Tatsuya explains to Hana that perfect one-touch passing requires exceptional positioning, passing, and spatial calculation, with all 11 players sharing a mental map of the ball and field. At halftime, Akutsu insults Ashito, telling him to go home, revealing he's the only player selected from last year's tryouts. In the second half, Esperian switches strategies. Akutsu deliberately collides with Ashito, injuring him. Tatsuya reveals he had Esperian players, except the goalkeeper, play out of position, shocking the candidates. With 10 minutes left to prove themselves, one candidate panics, saying they'll never match Esperian in a year. Ashito, struggling with his injury, recalls his mother buying him expensive cleats despite their poverty. Determined not to disappoint her and Shin, he regains his strength, blocks Akutsu, and heads the ball, infuriating him. At home in Nahime, Ashito's mother worries, but Shin notes a junior player's income matches an average salary, though she's unsure if Ashito will be selected. Ashito focuses solely on the match, fueled by the strong opposition. Spectators, including Hana, cheer his confidence. In the final 3 minutes, Ashito urges Tachibana to stay with him. Both push hard as others tire. An Esperian player commits a handball, earning Ashito's team a free kick. Isaku volunteers to take it. Ashito recalls Hana's advice about never stopping thinking about soccer. With little time left, he strategizes. Isaku shoots, but Akutsu heads it away, passing to a teammate. Ashito intercepts, shifts direction, and sends a long pass to Tachibana, who passes to Isaku. Isaku shoots, Akutsu blocks, but the ball flies up. Ashito leaps, strikes it, and scores. Overjoyed, he celebrates with Isaku and Tachibana, joined by Tatsuya's proud smile. At the final interview, Ashito calls Esperian strong. Asked about his goal, he says he analyzed opponents' movements, thought of his family, and realized he took soccer for granted. He learned teamwork and tactics are crucial, aspiring to go pro to repay his mother's struggles, even if not selected. He thanks Tatsuya for the opportunity. Days later, back home, Ashito tells Shin he did his best and prepared for failure. While dancing with friends, he finds a letter from Hana, a diet plan, to read only at home. In another scene, we see Ashito's mother bring him his selection letter, which makes him thrilled and causes all his friends to jump for joy. After delivering the selection letter, Ashito's mother angrily says that soccer will take her son away from her. Meanwhile, Hana, on the phone with Ashito, overhears his mother. Later that evening, Hana calls Ashito back and asks if he attended the tryouts without his mother's consent. Ashito snaps, telling her it's none of her business. Shin, following the diet plan Hana sent Ashito, insists he stick to it, calling it excellent. However, Hana clarifies she provided it to improve Ashito's physical condition and mental sharpness. Once Ashito calms down, Hana suggests he talk to his mother to comfort her. Shin remarks he's never seen their mother show such vulnerability. Elsewhere, Ashito's mother, drunk and stumbling home from work, regrets her words to Ashito. At home, she decides to act normal rather than apologize. Upon opening the door, she hears Ashito say he wants to become a professional soccer player to earn enough to make her life easier. Pleased but pretending otherwise, she scolds him for talking on the phone late. When Ashito mentions Hana is part of the youth club, his mother takes the phone, questioning her about details like the cost of sending Ashito to training. Over the next few days, Hana and other organizers explain the details of joining the club. Everything goes as Ashito hopes, but he hasn't had the chance to express his feelings to his mother. Spring arrives, and it's time for Ashito to head to Tokyo for training. At home, his mother packs his bags and wishes him well. Ashito is sad when she says she can't see him off. Later, he visits his school to say goodbye to friends and teachers. His friends are upset, as he's popular for his soccer skills. Shin accompanies Ashito to the station, telling him to reach out if he needs anything in Tokyo and expressing concern about him being alone in a new place. He also asks Ashito to thank Hana for sending weekly diet plans and answering their questions. Ashito regrets not talking to his mother, noting she avoided serious conversations. He aspires to become a professional, to make her proud, but realizes he's so focused on her that he's not concentrating on soccer. Suddenly, his school friends arrive to bid him farewell. After their teacher allows them to leave, everyone gets emotional at the station, wishing Ashito luck before he boards the train. Shin gives him a bag from their mother. Later, Ashito opens it to find a package with new cleats, a letter, a bank book, and a debit card. The letter reveals his mother's apology for brushing him off whenever he tried to talk, as she didn't want to get upset. She lists the expenses she'll cover to support his dreams, urging him to stay calm and play sincerely. She adds, she's always been proud of him since birth. Reading this, Ashito breaks down in tears. In the next scene, Ashito arrives at the Experience Soccer Club. Suddenly, he sees two girls screaming and running toward the field. Following them, he's shocked to see Japan's national team about to play. As he watches in awe, his tryout friends Isaku and Tachibana arrive, revealing they're the only three selected from the tryouts. The girls ask for autographs in their notebooks. Ashito notices a photo of Kuribayashi, a youth team player training with the national team, considered a future star for both Experian and Japan. Ashito learns Bayashi is only a year older and that strong performances can lead high schoolers to the junior league. At the dormitory, Ashito and his friends meet Yuma, who played against them in the tryouts. Though a third-year middle schooler like Ashito, Yuma was placed on the youth team due to a player shortage. Yuma introduces his friend Asari. The dorm manager gives them their jerseys and training gear, directing them to their rooms. In his room, Ashito is thrilled and ready to focus on soccer. The next day, during a photo session for the official player directory, Ashito wants to send a copy to his mother when his photo is published. His roommate hasn't arrived yet. Tachibana introduces his roommate, Karuta. At the orientation, coaches, including Tatsuya, offer advice. Ashito's roommate, Togashi, a scout team selectee, arrives, shocking everyone with his size and rumored biker gang ties. Ashito introduces himself, offering his jersey. Learning Ashito was selected via tryouts, not promoted, Togashi is relieved. Karuta warns Ashito to be cautious of Togashi. When people question Togashi's place in the junior league, the head coach defends Tatsuya's talent development. Tatsuya announces an internal match for new players, with top performers moving to Team A. Tachibana urges Ashito to excel, but Ashito chooses to rest alone until the match. Elsewhere, the head coach disagrees with Tatsuya about playing newcomers in an unfamiliar environment, but Tatsuya believes it helps them bond. The coach warns that unless Ashito improves miraculously, he won't go pro and could be Tatsuya's first failure. Overhearing, Hana angrily defends Ashito. Spotting him eavesdropping, she scolds him but gives him lunch. Ashito thanks her for convincing his mother and her support. Hana praises his mother's love and reveals Ashito reminds her of a special player. Before the internal match, the coaches outline the rules. Determined to prove the head coach wrong, Ashito recalls his supporters and vows to reward them. During the match, he scores by analyzing the field with his bird's-eye view technique. breaking the defensive line. Unsatisfied, he aims to score more to join Team A. The head coach, observing, believes a fatal flaw in Ashito's game-lacking ball control and tactics will keep him from going pro. Kaido, the sponsor's daughter, watching with Hana, calls Ashito tactically useless. The coach explains Ashito plays on intuition, unable to verbalize or replicate his actions, leaving him confused about player movements. With 5 minutes left and no one passing to him, Ashito grows anxious. Asari, from the opposing team, taunts him for not being special. Ignored, Ashito struggles, while Yuma impresses, coordinating teammates and enabling Togashi's goal. Kaido notes players must verbalize actions for precise instructions, and the coach praises Yuma's awareness. Yuma is the only one promoted to Team A. Alone on a bench, Ashito is upset about not making Team A, and not understanding why he was ignored despite scoring. Akutsu arrives, saying he watched with Tatsuya and the seniors, berating Ashito's poor skills and explaining his teammates' neglect. Throwing Ashito's jersey on the ground, he tells him to go home. When Akutsu insults his family, Ashito yells but is struck and called an outcast. Realizing he wasn't committed enough, Ashito begs the head coach to teach him tactics. Meanwhile, Hana and Kaido discuss Ashito. Tatsuya joins them, and Hana recalls how Ashito resembles a young Tatsuya. A coach shows them Ashito's intense training after being tasked with basic skills. Hana believes he'll go pro. The next day, a senior scolds Ashito for not passing during practice, a basic skill. Another senior notes Ashito's hours of solo training despite his skill gaps, seeing his determination. That night, Ashito struggles to master a move. Tachibana and Isaku help him improve, and he's grateful. The next day, the head coach yells at Ashito for lacking stamina after training all night. When another coach suggests cutting extra sessions, the head coach insists they shouldn't affect regular ones. A senior assistant, believing in Ashito's potential, suggests he ask Togashi, an exceptional player, for help. That evening, Ashito tells his friends not to train, as the coaches urged rest. Talking to Togashi, who's impressed by his will, Ashito learns basic skills from him. The scene continues with Togashi grumbling about Ashito's poor soccer skills, while Ashito struggles to grasp the concept. Frustrated by Togashi's strict teaching methods, Ashito yells at him, but Togashi insists he needs to fix Ashito's glaring bad habits. Since Togashi only instructs verbally, Ashito demands he show him how to do it practically. When Togashi kicks the ball once, Ashito, a quick learner, analyzes his technique and understands what to do. Meanwhile, Togashi reflects on his past experiences as a troubled youth, motivated years ago when Tatsuya coached him. He recalls his 5th grade visit to the National Training Center, where his rough background made others ignore him. Feeling low and alone, Tatsuya approached him after watching him train for 15 minutes. Tatsuya was skilled at teaching, using simple verbal instructions that a naive young Togashi could follow. Like Ashito, Togashi was impatient back then, so Tatsuya told him to work on his own to never forget the lesson. Since then, Togashi has followed this advice, practicing relentlessly. Meanwhile, Tachibana and Isaku arrive and join Ashito to help him train. The next day, coaches show the new players passing drills to refine their skills. The boys then play a 4-on-4 mini-game in a diamond formation, where dribbling upfield, long shots, and one-on-ones are prohibited, forcing them to pass until they reach the goal. If players don't kick the ball, they're excluded from the passing game and must leave the field. As the mini-game begins, Ashito recalls Togashi's instructions, relaxing to widen his vision and positioning himself to pass in any direction. Through his analysis, he realizes that as a right-footed player, he'll kick diagonally to the right. Ultimately, he showcases the results of his midnight practice, impressing everyone who previously looked down on him. Surprised, Asari asks Togashi what he taught Ashito to improve so quickly. Even the head coach praises him and agrees to teach him further. Above all, Togashi is proud of Ashito's rapid learning. Meanwhile, Akutsu mocks Yuma for exhausting himself after the match. Other Team A players discuss how the game could have been better, surprising Yuma, who realizes that despite scoring 9 goals, they still critique their flaws. He understands that the soccer he's played so far isn't good enough. Later at dinner, Ashito is thrilled about his performance, but his friends warn him not to get complacent just because his passing training paid off. His ball skills are still rough, and he needs more practice. Observing Ashito talk about the match, Asari begins to believe he has something others lack. When Ashito smiles at him, Asari gets annoyed and mentions that starting tomorrow, they'll train regularly with Team A. Rumor has it most new players can't keep up on the first day, now that Teams A and B will train together daily. Tatsuya orders an 11-on-21 match, with Team A playing at 21 against Team B, who get crushed. Even when Team B plays at 21, they still get demolished. Though Ashito tries to keep the team together by reinforcing basics, he makes mistakes again. After their loss, teammates Asari and Kuroda scold him for lacking basic skills. Upset, Ashito is asked by the head coach to reflect on why only Kuroda and Asari were angry with him among the 21 players. The next day in his dorm, Ashito ponders why the two were upset, while Togashi tells him to enjoy the spring break and relax. As Isaku and Tachibana's families are in Tokyo, they go home for the break, but Ashito, from distant Ehime, stays. Before leaving, Togashi suggests training with Akutsu, who's also staying, but Ashito gets angry. In his dorm, Ashito realizes he hasn't spoken to any promoted players since the internal match, suspecting he can't do what others do naturally, and that they don't see him as part of the team. Unable to pinpoint his mistake, he laments achieving nothing since joining the youth club and decides to train on basics all day. Then, Hana arrives at his door, asking him to visit the high school, but Ashito scolds her for entering unannounced. Later, when Isaku returns to retrieve forgotten cologne, he's surprised to see Ashito and Hana together. As Ashito walks beside his bike with Hana on the back, she tries talking, but he ignores her. She tickles him, causing them both to fall off. Hana then gives Ashito another diet plan to build physical strength, while Isaku, spying from afar, envies Ashito for being with a cute girl. In the next scene, while eating ice cream, Hana shares her dream of becoming a sports doctor, taking extra English classes, and working hard to achieve it. Suddenly, Ashito recalls the head coach's question about why his teammates were angry. He feels he must train now, improve quickly, and fit into the team. As he tries to leave, Hana warns that blind training won't help and expresses concern over his harshness toward himself. Despite her worries, Ashito yells at her to stop making diet plans, saying people might misunderstand if a pretty girl like her gives him attention. He claims to know what's best for himself and wants to master what he can't do without her interference. Hurt and angry, Hana kicks him and rides off. After the spring break, the players return for their first day of high school. In class, Yuma is surprised to see Kato, expecting her to attend a better school given her intelligence. She explains that to work in her chosen profession, she needs to attend the same school as the players. Later, when Isaku asks Yuma how he's close to Sponsor's daughter Kato, Yuma reveals his mother works as a maid at Kato's house, so they've known each other since childhood. Meanwhile, Ashito confronts Kuroda and Asari, admitting he can't understand teammates' thoughts unless they tell him. He now sees why he doesn't get along with them. Drawing the 11-on-21 match on the board, he explains his mindset during the game, concluding that his recklessness cost him his teammates' trust, but he vows to make up for it and play in harmony. Elsewhere, Tatsuya and the head coach discuss that it may take time for the freshmen to gel, noting a divide between the conscientious promoted players and the more relaxed Ashito and others. In class, Ashito keeps discussing the previous match and ways he could have scored. Asari snaps, telling him to stop obsessing over being the scorer. Ashito retorts that as a forward, he must think about scoring. Their debate escalates into a heated argument, with Asari belittling Ashito, saying he shouldn't have been selected. Isaku defends Ashito, and the boys nearly come to blows. Later, returning to his dorm, Ashito meets the head coach, who says he'll start in the next match but must show he understands his teammates' anger, or he won't play for 3 months. Before Team B's first official match, the promoted players urge Ashito, Asari, and others to improve their teamwork, warning they'll lose easily to their weak opponents otherwise. Ashito tells Tatsuya he'll win by scoring multiple goals alone, but Tatsuya explains soccer isn't a solo game. In the first half, Team B struggles, and during the break, a promoted player yells about their reckless mistakes and 3 conceded goals. Lost in thought about the coach's words, Ashito still doesn't understand Asari and Kuroda's anger and fears losing without teamwork. The promoted player asks the coach to sub Ashito, Kuroda, and Asari for second or third years, but the coach moves Togashi to another position instead, disappointing the promoted players. As they argue, Ashito steps in, admitting everyone's giving their all individually, but they need teamwork. In the second half, Ashito realizes he, Kuroda, and Asari were aligned in the previous match. He reminds Asari that despite being a defender, he kept moving up behind him, and Kuroda was always between them. Ashito sees he failed to make eye contact during play. The assistant coach suggests substitutions, but the head coach waits, expecting something exciting. As predicted, the game turns when Ashito, Asari, and Kuroda communicate visually. In soccer, where situations change instantly, visual cues are key. Despite the opponent's defense, Ashito gets the ball near the goal and passes to Asari, who scores. Ashito realizes soccer is a team game. When players share a mindset, they find openings. He scores too, and the head coach notes that soccer's basic form is the triangle, requiring at least 3 players. The opposing team stalls by faking an injury, and Togashi gets a yellow card arguing. Later, Ashito, Asari, and Kuroda discuss the 11-on-21 match, where Asari and Kuroda tried forming a triangle with Ashito, who was too focused on scoring to notice them. Thanking them for teaching him real soccer, Ashito surprises Asari with his quick learning. The match resumes, and Ashito, using the triangle concept, passes to Isaku, who scores, tying the game at 3-3. Ashito feels strange, anticipating players' moves. Hana, Yuma, and Kaido praise Ashito for faking a run to draw the defense, clearing Isaku's shot. He also guided Asari to pass to Isaku. Yuma and Kaido recall Ashito's classroom diagram of the 11-on-21 match, shocked at his progress, despite weak basics. Kaido notes Ashito's ability to predict movements instinctively. Yuma admits he's always been excited about Ashito since tryouts. In the final minutes, Ashito feels down until Hana apologizes for kicking him and urges him to do his best. His mood shifts, and using his eagle-eye analysis, he communicates with teammates to score, winning the match. That evening, the dorm manager announces a victory party. Asari apologizes to Ashito for his rudeness, and teammates shake hands for a fresh start. While watching Kuribayashi's J1 debut on TV, Kaido tells Ashito to mentally train by imagining himself in Bayashi's place and describing what he'd do. In another scene, Ashito and the dorm members watch Kuribayashi's debut match. Ashito tries to predict the players' movements and formations, but Kato points out flaws in his predictions. Although Kuribayashi doesn't score in the first half, everyone praises his exceptional passing and fearless nature. Seeing Ashito shocked by Kuribayashi's masterful play, Kato tells him she heard Kuribayashi always has 4 options in tough match situations. Ashito is stunned, as he sometimes lacks even 1 option. Kato suggests he expand his skill set and options for various game scenarios, advising him not to copy others, but to be a unique player with distinct qualities. Kuribayashi tells a teammate that while playing, he must showcase extraordinary skills to catch recruiters' attention and impress the coach to avoid being benched. He then helps his team score several goals and nets 1 himself, securing the win. The dorm members are amazed by his performance. In a post-match interview, when asked about building physical strength, Kuribayashi says players only focus on physicality if they're technically weak. But strong mental resilience can achieve anything on the field. He cites Messi, the world's best despite his small stature. and declares he's one of his team's best, vowing to prove it to management soon. After the match, Ashito reflects on Kuribayashi's gameplay and techniques, considering meeting him in person. Kato approaches, urging him to train hard and improve, to join a team where he can speak to Kuribayashi directly. Meanwhile, the manager announces that center-back Yoshitsune was injured in an Aomori match, and some Team B players might get promoted to Team A if they perform well. Elsewhere, Fukuda, a major Tokyo team manager, tells head coach Nozomi he believes Ashito could replace Yoshitsune and win the next match. Fukuda and other coaches attend to scout players for Team A, motivating everyone. During the match, instead of passing, Ashito attempts Kuribayashi's killer pass, shooting wildly and missing, angering teammates before the second half. Fukuda advises the junior team to focus on their roles rather than scoring alone. Inspired, the players stay composed in the second half. Following Nozomi's advice, Ashito delivers a perfect pass to attacking midfielder Otomo, who returns it, enabling Ashito to score a world-class goal. Everyone is impressed by Ashito's game vision. Fukuda considers meeting Ashito to discuss his play. In the next scene, Ashito arrives at the meeting room, where an excited Fukuda awaits. Ashito thanks Fukuda for bringing him to the school where he's learning and improving, then boldly asks for a Team A promotion, promising better performance. To his dismay, Fukuda refuses and tells him to abandon his forward position to play as a defender. Shocked, Ashito learns it was Fukuda's plan from the start. When Ashito resists, Fukuda threatens to cut him, arguing Ashito's selfishness makes him unfit as a forward and his physical traits suit a defender. Devastated, Ashito leaves in tears, confusing Kato, who notices his state. The next day, as the team prepares for a practice match, players are surprised by Ashito's absence. The manager replaces him, and in the locker room, the new lineup on the whiteboard shows Ashito as a defender. Nakamura, Otomo, and Togashi worry, knowing Ashito's desperation to be a forward. Otomo texts Hana about Ashito's situation, asking for help finding him. Surprisingly, Nozomi also disapproves of Fukuda's decision, doubting it despite Fukuda's track record. Meanwhile, Hana finds Ashito outside the bus station, takes him to a nearby club apartment, and cooks for him. She expresses discontent with Fukuda's choice, but assures there might be valid reasons. When Ashito, still upset, doesn't eat, Hana calls his mother, who checks on him. Ashito reassures her he's fine. Later, Kuribayashi visits the dorm seeking Ashito and meets Yoshitsune in the gym, who jokingly says, Ashito vanished. Ashito arrives, greeted by sad-faced dorm members, but seems fine. Following Hana's advice, he visits the dorm mother to apologize for breaking curfew. As he leaves, Yoshitsune mocks him as a useless forward. Undeterred, Ashito asks Yoshitsune to teach him defense, surprising everyone. Asari and Togashi also agree to teach him defensive basics. The next day, Ashito is invited to play his first match as a defender. Nozomi encourages him to do his best. On the field, Ashito is amazed by his wide view from the full-back position, seeing all players and planning accordingly. Consulting professional defender Takashima, Ashito seeks positional advice. Takashima suggests frequent movement and keeping an eye on the ball. Determined to prove himself to Fukuda, Ashito struggles as a defender, tempted to attack when spotting the ball. Takashima advises watching teammates and positioning for attack, but when Ashito leaves his side open to attack, the opponent counters and scores. Takashima scolds him, making Ashito doubt the role. When an opponent taunts him to go home, Ashito gets furious, clearing the ball like a true defender in the next play. Post-match, Takashima praises Ashito's vision, urging him to adjust positioning and monitor teammates. He encourages Ashito to keep working until he embraces defending. Kato asks Takashima about Fukuda's decision. Initially hesitant, Takashima agrees with Kato's view that Ashito should be a midfielder, impressed by her soccer insight. He notes Ashito's natural talent for tracking players' positions makes him suited for defense, where he can orchestrate plays, as offensive moves start with defense. After Kato suggests adopting Kuribayashi's defensive skills, Ashito requests his gameplay videos from management. Nozomi, surprised, provides them. Ashito studies Kuribayashi's head movements and ball reception, noting basic scanning skills to apply. In the next match, he struggles to scan while playing, losing the ball and getting scolded. Frustrated, he blames himself. But Kato, watching, is pleased he's trying her suggested skill. Despite setbacks, Ashito persists, eventually mastering it, delivering a perfect pass to Otomo, stunning spectators, including Nozomi and Kato. Kato visits Ashito, excluded from Team B, consoling him to keep working. Ashito asks for ways to improve scanning with the ball. Kato suggests juggling the ball high, looking around until it lands, and practicing until perfected. Ashito loves the idea, promising to master it. Meanwhile, Kuribayashi asks Hana for a diet plan for his international debut. Surprised he knows her, Hana agrees on the condition he meets Ashito to share soccer tips. Seeing Kato nearby, Hana feels jealous but accepts Kuribayashi's request. Ashito diligently practices Kato's skill, determined to excel in defense. A month later, Team B, having lost 4 straight matches, faces a strong opponent, risking relegation. Without Ashito, players discuss strategies. Tachibana, the forward, blames himself, but teammates insist it's a team fault. Ashito, missing a team meeting, practices scanning with the ball. Tachibana praises his dedication, aspiring to match Ashito's drive. Otomo and Togashi invite Ashito for a special meal. At their favorite spot, they meet Nakano, now with rival Musashino FC. Nakano explains that after Experian FC's rejection, Musashino's manager recruited him and another teammate. As they talk, Kanada, another ex-Experian and Musashino player, arrives. When Ashito touches his shoulder, Kanada brushes him off, bitter about Experian's rejection. Kanada blames Experian FC's junior team for his failure to make the senior team, specifically targeting Ashito, saying following his instructions cost him his spot. Tachibana tries to reason with Kanada, urging him not to blame others, but Kanada mocks him for failing to score as a forward. Before leaving, Kanada says he's eager to face Experian FC and make them regret not selecting him. Nakano adds that Musashino's new manager is great, and after Experian's rejection, they worked hard to improve. He follows Kanada, claiming Musashino is currently the best junior team. In the next scene, Nozomi plans the team's new formation with Yoshitsune as the forward after recovering from injury. Everyone is thrilled to see the reliable professional striker back. Before a match, Ashito is missing. When Yoshitsune asks Otomo where he is, Otomo says Ashito went running to clear his mind. Shocked, as running could drain his energy, the team is surprised, but Yoshitsune reacts calmly and leaves. Meanwhile, Kaito follows Ashito, urging him to stop running. Recalling Kanada's words, Ashito motivates himself to play brilliantly. When Kaito mentions Hana is watching the match, Ashito stops running, his nervousness fading, and tells Kaito he's ready. Kaito wonders why mentioning Hana calmed him. As the match begins, Ashito holds his defensive position, recalling Nozomi's plans. Suddenly, opponents attack through his position, and he fails to stop a one-on-one. A teammate urges him to focus on defensive basics. Amid Ashito's struggles, Hana arrives, shouting his name, recharging him. He starts seeing open spaces and potential opponent passes. Ashito tells Otomo to cover his left back spot and attacks the ball, clearing it. The crowd, including Yoshitsune and Nozomi, is impressed. Later, Ashito tries predicting opponents' moves but fails, losing the ball. Nozomi calls out, asking what he did differently earlier to predict tactics perfectly. Ashito explains he analyzed spaces and had Otomo cover before attacking. Impressed, Nozomi praises his game vision. Next, Yoshitsune passes to Ashito, asking for a return pass after running as suggested. Ashito delivers a perfect lofted pass, wowing everyone. Yoshitsune tries passing to another teammate but sends the ball out of bounds. Togashi joins Yoshitsune for a counterattack, enabling Yoshitsune to score. Impressed by Yoshitsune's style, Ashido asks for tips at halftime to emulate him. Yoshitsune advises focusing on himself and his own goals, not imitating others, but admits he envies Ashido's playstyle. Hearing this from a senior like Yoshitsune surprises and delights Ashido. In the second half, Ashido recalls Yoshitsune's advice. Togashi asks him to cover his space as he advances, noting they can't rely solely on Yoshitsune. The opponents switch formations, surrounding Yoshitsune, forming an impenetrable defensive wall. Togashi tries advancing but loses the ball due to poor communication with the captain, conceding a goal. Furious, Ashido yells at them to play earnestly. Nozomi changes the formation. A new player replaces an injured teammate and explains the setup. Nozomi permits Ashido to attack, but stresses defensive awareness, urging him to apply defensive knowledge to offense. Excited, Ashido, alongside Otomo and Yoshitsune, leads a triangle formation attack, passing through opponents. Analyzing defenders' positions, Ashido prevents Otomo from being blocked. Per Nozomi's plan, Otomo gets a clear chance but misses the goal. Fortunately, the rebound ball flies straight to Ashido, and he begins analyzing the best option around him again. At first, he considers shooting himself, but ultimately decides to pass the ball to Togashi to help him score with a header. Nozomi is surprised to see Ashido making a decisive assist to Togashi. After winning the match, Fukuda arrives and talks with Ashido, congratulating him on his defensive improvements. He also informs him that if he plays well in their next match against Musashino, he's considering promoting him to Team A. As expected, this news fills Ashido with joy, and he promises to give his best in the upcoming match. In the next scene, Ashido meets Hana and asks her to come to the match before kickoff. Unfortunately, they are interrupted by a reporter truly impressed by Ashido's game, who even gives him her business card. Through her, Ashido learns that Musashino is currently playing. Meanwhile, Otomo arrives and informs Ashido that Tachibana asked Nozomi to remove him from the player list for upcoming matches. Hearing this surprises Ashido. He decides to bring Tachibana along to watch the Musashino FC match so they can strategize based on what they observe. Ashido, Otomo, Tachibana, and Hana end up taking the reporter's car to go watch the Musashino match. On the way, Ashido asks Tachibana why he urged Nozomi to bench him. Tachibana responds that he hasn't improved enough to keep his head up and play against his former team. He also mentions Musashino's new manager, Sataki, famous for building a youth team from rejected players and guiding them to a 6-game winning streak. Ashido is taken aback by the news and begins to sulk, reminding himself of Fukuda's decision not to let him play as a striker. As the reporter drives, she overhears the boys talking non-stop about Musashino's game and warns them not to underestimate them. They are highly trained. She secretly tells Hana that they are truly interesting to watch. Soon, they arrive at the stadium and surprisingly run into Sataki himself. He recognizes Tachibana, suggests he should work hard to improve, and wishes him well for the future before leaving. Tachibana is deeply moved by his former manager's encouragement. Later, while watching Musashino FC play, Ashido is shocked to see how intensely they pressure their opponents, forcing them into immediate decisions. Under this high pressure, the opponents make mistakes and lose possession. Ashido is confused by this style of play, but Tachibana explains it's a tactic Sataki instills from a young age. Although pressing has its downsides like exposing defenders high up the pitch, the risk is worth it, and everyone knows their role and executes it perfectly. After the match, Hana approaches Ashido and tries to tuck something into his back. Startled, Ashido yells at her for touching his butt. As they argue, a girl named Miyako arrives and takes Tachibana away. Ashido and Otomo assume she is Tachibana's girlfriend and follow, curious to find out more. They soon learn that Miyako is actually Tachibana's twin sister, who plays on Musashino's women's team. Miyako is angry at her brother for not keeping in touch or answering their parents' calls. At that moment, Kanata appears shouting at his teammates, forcing Ashido and the others to hide behind a bush. Proud of scoring in a recent match, Kanata belittles his teammates, claiming he's the sole reason for the team's success and winning streak. He also speaks ill of Tachibana and tells his team to crush experienced football team in their next match. Hearing this, an angry Ashido emerges from the bush and orders Kanata to stop putting Tachibana down. But Kanata continues provoking him. Soon, Tachibana's teammates tell Ashito and the others to leave because they don't want trouble. Reluctantly, the group walks away to find Hana waiting for them. She asks what happened, but an enraged Ashito ignores her and continues talking with Otomo and Tachibana. Hurt, Hana kicks him and says she expects an answer. She then reveals she received an offer from Kuribayashi to prepare a dietary program for him and was waiting for Ashito's permission to accept it. However, Ashito pays no attention and suggests she take the offer. Devastated by his disregard and feeling unappreciated despite her affection and expectations, she leaves. On their way back, Ashito finds a photo tucked into his back, the same one the reporter gave to Hana. Realizing Hana had just been trying to give him the photo and he unfairly yelled at her, he feels regret. He tells Tachibana they must play as a team and win against Musashino. Otherwise, their entire team will face humiliation and consequences. Back at their dorm, they attend a meeting where Nozomi discusses training for the upcoming match. Surprisingly, although Tachibana asked her to exclude Ashido, she names Ashido as a striker. While everyone is fearful of Musashino FC, Ashito stands up and motivates the team to play well and win, saying this is their best chance to impress the coaches and advance their careers. In the next scene, Ashido and Otomo rush to Togashi, asking him what he did to Takashima. Togashi, smiling, says he only taught him proper manners. Curious, Ashido asks why Togashi is so angry at Takashima, to which Togashi replies, "You'll know soon." The scene shifts to when Togashi joined Experian FC as a trainee. He was asked to train with the junior professional team and told that if he played well during trials, he would be selected. With pride and confidence, Togashi joined the team and showcased his skills. During lunch, Kuroda approached and suggested they play together to score against their opponents, which Togashi accepted. In the following match, Togashi impresses briefly by passing to Kuroda, but Kuroda unexpectedly returns the ball. Surprised, Togashi hesitates and loses possession. After the match, Togashi notices Takashima talking with two girls who praise his football skill. When Togashi approaches, Takashima mocks him for missing a golden scoring opportunity and presents him as just a trainee in front of the girls. This makes Togashi jealous and he storms off, furious. The next day, Togashi plays another match, determined this time to score for his team. He passes to Kuroda and charges forward, urging him to return the ball. Together, they launch an attack. Kuroda breaks through defenders and scores. Togashi realizes scouts are evaluating the game for potential players. With this in mind, he confronts Kuroda and grabs him by the collar, reprimanding him for only scoring in front of the scouts. Later, the opposing team is about to score, but while Takashima struggles, Togashi fearlessly jumps in and clears the ball, injuring himself in the process. Togashi then reproaches Takashima for his confusion and urges him to play as a team rather than chasing personal records. Back in the present, it's revealed that Togashi and Takashima are currently angry with each other. At times, they don't even speak during training and remain cold. Seeing this division within the team, Ashito fears they won't be able to beat Musashino using such flawed tactics. He decides to motivate the team and bring them together. At the same time, Tachibana arrives, shouting and urging everyone to train together. Initially, no one wants Tobut. Once Takashima supports him, the others agree. Together, they start practicing the formation and tactics Nozomi taught them. They give it their all, determined to master their setup before the monumental clash with Musashino FC. The head coach of Experian FC, Nozomi, interacts with the manager of Musashino FC, Sataki. Nozomi congratulates Sataki for building an excellent football team from players rejected by J-League youth teams. Sataki responds that he knows the feeling of being rejected by a dream team. It's clear there is some animosity between the two. Then, both teams warm up before the match, and Tachibana is approached by his Musashino FC teammates. Everyone at Esperion FC seems tense about the game, as the fear of losing starts to weigh on them. Surprisingly, instead of helping others, Takashima leaves the field for a while with a beautiful girl, leaving everyone puzzled. In the locker room, Tsukushima, the assistant coach, tries to motivate the players, assuring them they are far better than Musashino's players. Meanwhile, Takashima returns to the locker room with his hair cut short. Everyone looks at him and can't help but laugh. Immediately, the players' mood improves, and they all feel boosted to win the match against Musashino FC. Thus, Takashima has re-energized the team in a fun but effective way. In the next scene, the match begins, and it seems that Esperion FC's players have practiced a specific routine to counter Musashino's high-pressing style. The forwards run to recover the ball, while the center-backs make long, deep passes. Additionally, the center-backs stay back in their half and wait to counterattack, providing extra protection to their team and reducing the risk of errors. With this strategy, Musashino FC feels under pressure, as their plan to press a player to disrupt their position isn't working for now. As the match continues, Ashido recovers the ball and recalls Nozomi's advice on how to pass elegantly. With renewed motivation, he makes a perfect long pass to Tachibana. However, despite everything done well, Tachibana fails to score, disappointing the entire team. Meanwhile, realizing their high-pressing tactics aren't working on Esperion FC, the opposing manager, Ifide Sataki, signals his captain to change formation. A few minutes later, Ashido attempts another long pass to Karuta, but Karuta fails to reach the ball, as a Musashino defender intercepts it first. After that, Tagashi makes a long pass to Tachibana, but again, a Musashino defender blocks it. Amid the action, Musashino FC gets their first good chance. Kaneda receives a deep pass and launches a counterattack against Esperion FC. He breaks through most of their defense and nearly scores, but Ishido makes a last-second sliding tackle, preventing a certain goal. Due to this rough tackle, he receives a yellow card, and Kaneda gets a free kick in a dangerous position. Everyone watches tensely, as this free kick could be the perfect chance to open the score, but fortunately, Musashino FC misses it, and the team quickly returns to their initial formation. As suggested by their captain, Mudo, they realize something has changed, but they keep trying long passes. However, no matter their efforts, their passes are easily intercepted by the opposing team. Without wasting time, Musashino's players quickly adapt to their new game plan, and surprisingly, create a deep pass to their star striker, Kaneda. In a flash, he receives the ball and races to score. Fortunately, Tagashi intervenes just in time and prevents him from unleashing a venomous shot toward the goal. Although the danger is averted for now, everyone realizes how dangerous Kaneda is. Esperion's players decide to mark Kaneda individually, aiming to prevent him from threatening their goal at all costs. Kuroda takes on the responsibility of marking him and does an excellent job for a while. Unfortunately, despite Kuroda's great work, Kaneda manages to make a cross into Esperion FC's box, allowing Mudo to execute a magnificent header. The goalkeeper does his best to stop it, but the shot is too powerful, and it becomes the first goal of the match. After conceding this goal, Esperion FC's captain orders his players to return to their usual playing style, based on possession and short passes. However, the other players think it's not the right thing to do, and Tachibana suggests it's too early to change their attacking plan, only 20 minutes into the match. The captain refuses and belittles Tachibana for not scoring in several matches. Soon, the game resumes, and Ashito makes an excellent pass to Matoke. But Matoke fails to control the ball properly, and the opposing goalkeeper easily collects it. Thus, another chance is wasted. Meanwhile, Tachibana talks to himself, saying a goal is necessary for their team, no matter who scores it. He realizes he is the team's top scorer, which is why Nozomi chose him among all others. With renewed motivation, he decides to score a goal on his own to not betray Nozomi's trust. In the next scene, Tachibana receives the ball from Ishido and advances alone. It's as if he's possessed by the soul of Lionel Messi. Musashino's players try to stop him and tackle him multiple times, but a determined Tachibana easily bypasses them. He then elegantly passes the ball to Otomo in a dangerous position, but unfortunately, Otomo only manages to graze the ball. Just when Tachibana thinks his efforts were in vain, Ashito quickly approaches the ball before it goes out of bounds and makes a sliding shot toward the box. The ball flies toward Tachibana, and at that moment, he remembers that Ishido always encouraged him to work hard and face tough problems with a smile. Tachibana approaches the ball and strikes a powerful shot into the net, scoring an incredible goal for the team. Tachibana himself can't believe his eyes, and everyone gathers to celebrate this moment. With this goal, Tachibana regains his confidence and starts playing with a different offensive attitude. He feels superior to everyone and notices fear in the eyes of Musashino FC's players. The momentum is now in favor of Esperion FC, as all their attacks create dangerous chances. Tachibana dribbles past defenders and passes the ball to Ishido, but Ishido is blocked, and the ball drifts away from the goal. Ishido is frustrated at not scoring, as he feels scoring is in his blood. As Ishido fails to score, Sataki tells his colleague that Ishido has excellent vision and game understanding, making him Esperion FC's MVP. Following this, he decides to change their playing style again. Soon after, Musashino's players adopt more pressing attacks to destabilize the opponent and make them lose possession. They also try to trap opposing players in offside positions to reduce their scoring chances. Unfortunately, when Esperion FC tries to counterattack, Musashino's players defend and counterattack, with Kuroda scoring a fantastic goal, making the score 2-1. Shortly after, Kuroda receives an impressive pass from Mudo and tries to score a second time. He dribbles past Tagashi, Takashima, and the goalkeeper but is stopped by Kuroda, who injures his head while trying to prevent the ball from entering the goal. With that, the halftime whistle blows, and all players return to the locker room. Anna watches the match in secret, trying to hide from Ashito. When the team arrives at the locker room, Fukuda calls Nozomi for a brief discussion aside. Tsukushima approaches the team and announces that Kuroda is seriously injured and might be out for the rest of the match. Hearing this, everyone worries, and Asari, frustrated, yells at Tagashi and Takashima, asking them to communicate to create an invincible defense. Nozomi also mentions that he wants to see Tagashi and Takashima in perfect harmony. At that moment, Kuroda enters the locker room and asks Nozomi to let him play in defense for the second half. At first, Nozomi refuses, but faced with his desperate plea, he agrees. Ashido speaks up and asks Tagashi, Takashima, and Kuroda to make eye contact before each pass and give each other instructions. He emphasizes the importance of teamwork and communication for a solid defense, quoting the famous saying, "Attack wins matches, but defense wins titles." Then, flashbacks show Fukuda and Nozomi discussing their next steps for the match before the second half begins. Fukuda calls Ashito aside and asks him to use every player and give them instructions. Fukuda adds that Ashito must keep an eye on the defense and ensure no one can penetrate it, being the leader of the backline and ready to sweep any threat. Ashito takes these tips positively, and before leaving, notices Anna leaning against a wall. He approaches her and asks her to say something. She doesn't talk much and simply asks him to play carefully and not lose. Although Ashito is confused by her strange behavior, he is happy to see her. In the next scene, the second half begins, and Takashima and Tagashi start communicating with each other, stopping opponents with ease. Kuroda also helps in defense to intercept and clear the ball. Meanwhile, Tagashi's tackle angers Kaneda, as the latter is desperate to score another goal. Time and again, he tries to burst into Esperion's penalty area, but the resilient defenders easily push him back. Soon after, all of Musashino's players retreat and reinforce their defense. Their new strategy is to park the bus, meaning filling their penalty area with all available players to prevent the opposing team from penetrating. They stop attacking and focus solely on defending their lead. Realizing the opponent has changed strategy, Nozomi adopts a new game plan and suggests that Ashito and Asari start their runs from the wings. Ashito sees a slight chance to score and makes a diagonal run toward the post, destabilizing the defenders. He then passes the ball to Asari, who makes an elegant backheel pass to Otomo, allowing him to strike the ball cleanly and score a goal. Everyone is surprised to see the team use a diagonal run to destabilize the opponents and score. Following this, Ashito starts learning more strategies in the game. He uses a passing language with Kuroda and moves the ball effortlessly. At this moment, Ashito enjoys his playing position, where he has a broader view of every player on the field. He starts giving instructions to his teammates and manipulating their positions to execute a plan he has in mind. The momentum is again in favor of Esperion FC, and they seem to be the team most likely to score the winning goal. Without delay, Kuroda passes a deep ball to Tachibana, and Ashito makes another diagonal run to destabilize the opposing defenders. He draws the defenders toward him, leaving an open space for his teammates to strike. Ashito makes a cross pass for his teammates, but unfortunately, the ball hits the post and rebounds. Fortunately, Ashito recovers the ball in time and strikes a powerful shot, sending the ball into the net and scoring another goal for the team. With Esperion FC taking the lead for the first time in the match, Ashito is overjoyed and gains a lot of confidence. Soon, Esperion scores another goal and gains a 2-goal lead against Musashino FC, forcing their players to retreat and defend to avoid conceding more. It seems the opponent has been destabilized by this quick double. Sataki realizes that Ashito has a special ability to visualize the game and devise a plan based on his understanding. He feels jealous of Esperion FC for discovering a talent like Ashito and training him with additional skills and knowledge. Seeing Ashito in full action, Kanata recalls an earlier match in the year where Ashito ran alone to score a goal, while the entire team was tired and stayed back. He realizes how much Ashito has progressed in a year and feels that his hard work and dedication have paid off. In the next scene, the final whistle blows, and Esperion FC wins the match with an impressive score of 4-2. Despite this remarkable victory, Esperion's players remain humble and congratulate their opponents for fighting until the last second. Meanwhile, Fukuda approaches the team and announces that Ashito, Otomo, Tagashi, and Kuroda have been promoted to the A team. Hearing this, the entire team is euphoric and plans a celebration in their dormitory. While the other players celebrate, Ashito visits Nozomi and thanks him for all the training and advice he has given him. Nozomi responds that it's all his hard work, as most players promoted to the A team fall back due to poor performance. He also suggests that Ashito stay calm and progress step by step rather than rushing to achieve everything. Great players like Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar climb the ranks from zero, and that's what Ashito must do. Later, Ashito enters the dormitory and runs into Hana, who is cycling toward the dorm. He stops her, takes her hand, and tells her he has been promoted to the A team. Hana congratulates him and hugs him, making him uncomfortable. As she starts heading back to the dorm, it begins to rain heavily, and the two run to take shelter nearby. There, Ashito asks Hana to come to all his matches and cheer for him, revealing that her cheers motivate him to work hard. He considers her his lucky charm, as he wins every match where she cheers for him. Hearing this, Hana becomes emotional and kisses Ashito on the forehead. We then see Ashito, bewildered by what just happened, and Hana running inside the dormitory.